And there we go. Hello, hello, hello. Balancing out our audio levels. Good morning, everybody. This is the Poetry Studio. Beautiful Sunday morning. I used to not stream on Sunday mornings, and now I have started doing so again, which is great. I really like it, actually, being able to kind of consistently do this 7 days a week. I've been getting into more of a flow with the work, with the art, with just typing things up. I did not get to go type on the walking wall yesterday. The weather was just too bitter and too cold. And so, not that has stopped me before, but I realized that there were other projects that needed my attention. And indeed, those projects were completed in a way that was wonderful and good. So it was really good to be able to focus on that. And that is the story of the day. LJ Gibbons saying, keeping it up. It's good. Absolutely, absolutely. So today's kind of special. I am going to be receiving the vaccine for the virus. And so I wanted to write something today for the people that are going to be administering it. A and B guy says a Twitch channel for poetry. That's new stuff. Well, I appreciate it. Welcome to the channel. If this is your first time being here, feel free to follow. And we have all sorts of weird and wonderful little channel rewards down below where you can request poetry, and you can do funny things such as make the dog show up on the stream like this. Oh, he's like kind of right there in the corner when you could see him. This is Max. He's the poetry dog. LJ Gibbons says, Fam and I are watching. Well, that's wonderful. Really appreciate you tuning in. and really appreciate everybody. Hello, family, tuning in. We create poetry here and just create it on the spot. If anybody that you're sitting with has any ridiculous or zany ideas they want to see put into words, let me know. One of the most fun things that I usually do when I'm out typing on the street is being able to busk poems on the spot based on random topics people have given me. But this week that has not been as much the case. Or I should say this weekend rather. But today, I haven't really prepared what I'm going to write for what I would for lack of a better word, call this vaccine poem. But I do want to write something that will definitely be able to just be a word of encouragement to everybody and everything that's going on with all that. Because I feel really lucky for what I'm, being able to get the vaccine personally, and that's my personal view and belief on it. But I think it's going to be really good. So let's dive into this. And then Fool Killer was here yesterday. He mentioned a poem about the broken laptop. There we go. He's here now. We have Pokemon. Pokemon as a theme has been asked by LJ's little guy. Oh my goodness. That takes me back to the days. I was actually talking to Twitchero Alex in the Meaning Wave community. I used to have a foil Gyarados card. And I think I also had a Snorlax too. I remember those cards. I remember those days. I grew up on Pokemon Red, Silver, and Gold. The first versions. I've heard that there are many more versions that are out there now. What's funny is I've been doing these haikus and numbering them, and one of the reasons why I get a real thrill about numbering the haikus is because I envision that people will want to collect them. So I make this joke and I say, collect them all, because I'm always thinking about Pokemon when I say that, and now we have a poem about Pokemon. If you're just tuning in, we are doing poetry about Pokemon this morning for LJ's little guy. I'm trying to take me back to the show. Oh man, all the elements of it are. I think I gotta look up something here. So I do look up things when I do these poems. Inspirational searches. I like that. I may, and a lot of my poems are inspirational. But I love taking like that theme of inspiration and placing onto it the specifics of all these different things that people request. Personalized notes. I am guessing your little one, LJ, is familiar with Pokemon through Pokemon Go, so I will eventually hit that. But right now I'm bathing in the nostalgia of my own youth. Of course, they're both very related. Good morning, leaky old man butt. Welcome to the stream. He loves the Galar region and that you like Pokemon, says LJ. This morning, we are writing a poem for LJ's children who like Pokemon. That's what we're doing. Fool Killer is just is putting wisdom in the chat. The 3 certainties of life: death, taxes, and Pokemon. I love that. I did get your email. I did not get the chance to fully look at it. And I definitely want to respond back to you. I think that with the political nature of the song, we'll chat over email. But I do love the portions that you have shared before on the stream. For those that don't know, Leaky before, he ended up sending me a song of his, and I got to take a look at the email briefly, but it's really good to see more creators riffing off of the crisis that that our country's kind of just going through in general. Yep, no, I got it. Back to the poem. I'm getting really nostalgic now. I have to look up the spelling of Bulbasaur. I never thought I'd have to do this for a poem. I had this little Squirtle toy when I was in like 2nd grade, and I lost it when I was playing out in the yard. And Leaky has requested an on-the-spot poem using the the points feature, so we will get to that after. This is awesome. I remember that little toy Squirtle, I lost it. And I was like so sad about it. I was so broken up by it. Very, very, very sad about it. I eventually got over it, but I remember it was so precious to me. And Boogie says, never got to know how to refill the ink on the typewriter. Well, the only way to do it is to probably get yourself a new ribbon, and they have new ribbons, universals that you could probably buy on Amazon. And so, like, if I go to my other camera, and this will be cool little thing to be able to show LJ, your son, as well. You know, the typewriter, you can kind of see it here in the corner. I pull it around, lift it up. The ribbon spool's in here. You just pull them out. And then that's how you can end up replacing, and actually the easier way to do that would be to do this, where I go to typewriter camera. Look at that. And so this is new ribbon. This ribbon I got from, I think, All Places, Wisconsin. Big bulk of it. Oh, actually, I can show you guys my big bulk of ribbon. I love my big bulk of ribbon. Because my big bulk of ribbon, it's fascinating. Like when I hold it, I'm like, look at all the ribbon.
Yeah, it's a mobile stabilizer, so it does make it smooth. Sarah, hey, you want to try my stabilizer?
So it's in the plastic bag, but this is more ribbon than I will ever need in my entire life. Look at this. This is one big gigantic spool of ribbon. We have talk about old nostalgic things in the chat. So you can see here, this cost me like 35 bucks. And what I do is I take the old spools and I just run them through here. One day I'll just do an entire stream. I gotta be careful because I'm gonna stain my shirt if I'm not careful with my fingers with this. One day I'll do an entire stream where I just spool ribbon, and we could have real fun with it. Oh wow! Oh my goodness, that hit me in the heart. LJ said, my little guy said you can borrow his Squirtle. Wow. That's really kind of him. Your son is very kind. Very, very kind. All right, let's get everything straightened up back here so we can finish LJ's son's poem. Fool Killer's nostalgia remembering was, it's strange, I can't remember a time in my life I didn't know about Pokemon. It's how culturally ingrained it was to me. And that is indeed true. Yeah, and Boogie, if you want to message me privately, I could send you some more info. You know, can get really weird and nerdy about it all. So if it's something where you want like a classic ribbon, I know the guys that sell them for a little more expensive money, but the cheap ribbons on Amazon will do you just fine for getting the thing back into gear. Do you have a typewriter? What type of typewriter do you have? Not for a long time, but you can play with it for a little while. I don't want you to feel bad. Well, I don't feel bad anymore, but thank you so much for thinking of me. That shows how kind of a heart you have. Oh goodness, we need to get this back on here. Poem is complete. And so what I'll do is I'll lower the music here and I'm going to read it. I need one of those switchers that Akira has. Catch them all. Training man and mythic beasts to feast on the fiercest victory. Arenas and gyms where we train elementals and journey through Kanto to see how we have evolved. From the wild weeds where wandering led to an electric chance encounter, to the force of good, blasting off and away all our foes who seek to break our search. And with what will you start? Earthen Bulbasaur, growing to tangle competition. Squirtle rushing forward with the river of fun, or the cute but fiery Charmander. All we know is that we are called to go, explore this new universe from the very palm of our hand. I remember my little Game Boy Advance. I'm doing it now, like I'm doing the what is it? With the Game Boy, because it was held like this. I'm like literally like miming it. I don't know why I'm miming it, but I just remember the exploring all the different regions and being oh, he's gone to find Winchester on the map. Yeah, I'm exploring all the regions and being able to just catch them all, go to the different gyms. I remember the intricate problems. I had a guidebook where I would go through and I would it would help me navigate the entire world. Chills, says LJ Gibbons. Well, I hope that he liked it. I know that it was written for both the kids and the young at heart in the room, which is exciting. And I'm really glad to have written for him and for you. That's wonderful. Kids always get, nobody needs to redeem any channel points to get poems for kids. And usually I don't even require the channel points anyway. I'm just glad. But Leaky has asked for a poem. And I hope he wants to send you a check. He was back to hear your poem. Thanks so much. Of course, absolutely. And as with anything, it's everything. I can mail these all first class, and I can even mail them first class international. I don't even know where you're located, but you can whisper to me afterwards, and if you'd like me to mail it to you or email it to you, I'd love to get you the copy. We have some more poetry in the chat. Let's check it out. I like that Leaky is dropping some tense romance. I would, there's a way that I would describe it. Licking your lips, you got that look in your eyes. Knowing I'm here, too scared to leave your side. Playing me like a song that I used to know. Down on my knees, I'm starting to think twice. I'll take my chance with future romances. This isn't a rom-com. There's no ever after who I am. Is not in the fortune, not in your fortune. Time for a new melody. I am sorry if I cramp your style. I am sorry if it's been a while. You got me saying I am sorry, but I am not sorry. I guess I feel sorry, but I am not sorry for being me. Powerful words. Powerful words. And there's a repetition of sorry that only works best in the song. Do you have a request? Would you like me to write something specific? Another on-the-spot poem. And Envy and going back in the chat, said I only used them like 20 years ago when I was a kid. Never again. Was talking about typewriters. Yeah, it's funny because back probably 20 years ago, there weren't even like typewriters like this one. Like this one here is a 1947 Royal Quiet Deluxe. We have as a redeemable reward, you can request a typewriter that is over a century old, and I can use it live on the stream. That is our friend the Oliver. So, and I have it like right around the other side of the desk. So if anybody ever wants to see that thing in action, that thing is totally different. Leaky says, write what you know about me. I will write what I know about you. It's an interesting thought because Leaky says, never had a poem written about me, not written by me. Because most people, most times when someone gets a poem written about themselves and it's not themselves, it's usually because there's some sort of romantic relationship, which is not what's happening here. Leaky. Flattered, but no, so it's really interesting how that's something that seems, and you're a writer and you're a creator and you flow in creative circles. And so it's interesting that you find that to be something that's new. And I just wonder what would, I guess the weird thing, and I don't want it to kind of be self-flattering to what I do, but what would the world be like if more people had more poems each written about each other? Like maybe we would be all, just a little more joyful. I'm not suggesting you're not joyful. You're full of creation. Leaky says, and my girlfriend might get upset if that's what's the case. Well, I promise I won't gush too heavy about you. A spiritual renaissance is what's needed. Poems would be a great way to start the conversation, says LJ. One might say a revolution, haha. Inside joke, yeah. I've always thought about, like, one of the most fascinating periods of time in history that I've learned about, and it's not that fascinating to most people, is the Great Awakening, which went in the late 1600s, early 1700s, or mid 1700s, I can't put it down. Like, America just suddenly got real religious. Like, everybody come over from Europe, we were doing our thing, and then suddenly there was all this religion around. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, a specific faith or anything like that is essentially the thing, but the idea was there was this deeper sense of spirituality that people realized that they needed it. It was almost like a microcosm of, you know, the, like, kind of humanity's development of kind of like bumbling around and being like, oh, well, you know, and now we're gonna kind of, you know, invent and create the mythology around us to help explain our world, which is something that the meaning wave community explores a lot. Which, a little plug for the meaning wave community. We all the music you're hearing today is instrumentals from a musician by the name of Akira the Dawn, who will be streaming this morning after we finish our stream. Anyway, I'm not writing the poem, I'm talking about the development of society. But I always wondered, like, you know, I wish that there was a way to kickstart that type of thing again. And maybe that's what a whole bunch of us are doing. We're just all throwing beauty into the mush of it all, so that eventually something catches and people feel transcendence about themselves and others around them. And maybe that's a little like, I don't know what the right word is, but it doesn't seem like that's the right way to go about it. But also there's communities where transcendence is happening. Maybe the idea of it happening on a large scale, like a meme, is not really the way to go. You know, Bernie Sanders can get there with his mittens, but we can't get widespread poetry. It's a wonder. And I'm not frustrated by that. I guess I am. I am a little frustrated by that. Is, you know, like that was fun. Like, there's nothing wrong with the meme, but there's so much more that we could spread. You know, like, I think about the memes of late. Like, what do they suggest about us? Among Us is all about, it's fun. All of them are fun. We have interesting discussion in the chat, the difference between revolution and transcendence. I like that. I like that quote. But yeah, it's true. Inside joke. But it's so interesting to think about that. And I don't want to take that thought further, lest I start pontificating about the value of memes. But, like, you know, it's interesting thing what can get popular versus what isn't widespread popular. But I guess that's just the way of the world. And I was looking up a word before I stopped. I do this to myself sometimes. I write the word and I check to make sure I spelled it right, which is stupid because it's already been inked onto the paper. Oh, we have a question. We have everything. Twitcher Alex has redeemed everything this morning. So we are off with the hat. That's off. We are officially And then he wanted me to check to see if I am wearing pants. And today, yes, I'm indeed wearing pants. So why do I do this? This is a funny little thing that I put in as a reward. It's because half the time I show up, I'm wearing shorts. I'm no joke. I just roll out of bed, and I walk in here, and I am wearing shorts. So here we go. I didn't expect the chat to get spammed with the with the redeems. Good morning, Telemoni and Dan as well. This is silly. I love it. I haven't had anybody redeem that yet. It was just a test. I was like, let me throw it in there and see what goon decides to go ahead and redeem it. I was in a real flow too. But I think I'm gonna be right back into it. This poem's coming easy to me. So this was a request via the channel points for Leaky. A poem. He said, write about what you know about me. And so to put it in vaguely, from what I know about you, you've recently had some sort of medical procedure that you are recovering from. It affected your voice, which I am glad to hear that you are singing more again, and you are indeed a songwriter. And so the poem is entitled The Songwriter. Past the numbers, past the sinews and scrubs, cardiograms etching out the beat between the scales. When the diagnosis for our crisis comes, you hear the song, even if the voice has yet to sing. Even if within the dreams of waiting. We are all healing, all seeking to pull the pain from the wounds and get it out. Get it out. Grind out the scars and replace them with vengeance of truth. Love is cold and broken, but beautiful and sung. Strum like the chord, scratched out onto the paper, recording the life we are living. Yeah, and that was the other thing too, is I remember you saying something about how you worked with numbers in your career, which I always found that to be something I like too. I do some data crunching myself. Fascinating the correspondence of data work and then going to do creative outside of that. Okay, love that, he says. I appreciate that you do. I really am so glad that you do. LJ Gibbons puts an emoji in the chat. Really appreciate the request. And as always, with all the poems written on here, if you want the hard copy of that, I'll email it to you regardless. I have your email, but you can also get the hard copy that was created here live on the stream. Man, I really appreciate everybody tuning in here. Yeah, Delmonian Dan says, I quite like that one. Yeah, and the more that I think about it, I mean, I could keep it as the songwriter, but part of me wanted to do something better with the title on the look back. Something about like songwriter. Oh, goodness, like songwriter something. This one I really had enjoyed writing. It came out very quickly. And email would be great. So we are reaching about 8 o'clock, which is when I usually pop off. We have a real crowd here. I appreciate everybody that's been tuning in. Really appreciate the bits in the chat. Thank you again so much, Leaky, for chatting it up. And shout out to LJ and his son, who got a poem about Pokemon today. As always, you can pop in every morning. We do this at 7 a.m. EST. We do some writing. You can make me stand up and take off hats. Switch out typewriters, have a good time, and we can have a great time just creating, writing poetry, and doing all that. I'll be back again tomorrow morning. Otherwise, what we're gonna do now, I'm gonna check to see if it's either Steve Disco Newsom or Akira is currently streaming, and we're going to go raid one of the two of my favorite DJs. It looks like Akira has just popped on. He's going to be the recipient of an intergalactic raid. Basically, there's been this DJ chain of raids that started like yesterday in all over the UK and other places, and he's going to be the end response of that. He says, thanks for the poem. That was cool. As always, it was wonderful to write for you. I tell you something, part of the reason why these poems just came out so wonderfully for me is because I didn't get to write it all this weekend on the street. I didn't get to write for anybody. So I feast off of this. It's crazy. So yeah, it was really something. All right, let's go ahead and let's set up that raid. Thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. We are raiding Akira the Dawn. Thanks again so much for being in here, everybody. Yep, and Telmoni and Dan's out as well. Thanks again all for being here. And we